My name is Dan Fleyshman. I was the youngest founder of a publicly traded company in history. I've spent more on Instagram influencer posts than anybody in history. I spent $60 million just this year alone, a couple $100 million over the last 6 years, just paying influencers to post products. So I'm going to do the really fast forward version. So I'm going to save some of these things that you see. This is the back in my day when I was first building my brand. I got into 55,000 retail stores, utilizing the first version of social media, which were YouTube, MySpace, et cetera, and real hand-to-hand combat. Nowadays, with the social media platforms, you can get out there so much faster, and people talk about it, but they don't actually act on it. What I mean by that is, a lot of people are utilizing one platform instead of all of them. The problem for that is, if, just like you heard on the last panel, if Instagram throttles the reach and you have 400,000 followers there, what do you do now? Like, what happens next? And so a lot of influencers, I pay 600 influencers consistently on salary every single month, separate from the one-off posts. And what I teach all of them is why they should be creating their accounts on every single platform, even if they're not going to be as big. You might have 400,000 on Instagram and only get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and only 5,000 on Pinterest, 22,000 on Twitter, and 10,000 on Facebook. But those still matter. Why they matter? You don't know what's going to happen to your core platform, and you don't know what could happen over here. And what could happen over here is putting yourself in a position to get lucky. Let's say you're on Facebook, and your Instagram post gets throttled. But your Facebook post of the exact same content gets shared, and it goes viral. And you gain 100 or 200,000 followers there. You put yourself in a position to get lucky. If you just only post on Instagram, you don't post on Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, you miss out on that situation, and it doesn't take you any more time or energy, because all you have to do is create your content for one core platform. What I mean by that is, YouTube is the only one that you have to do long-form content and specialized content. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, you don't have to create separate types of content. Your exact same post with your exact same caption can go on each of these platforms, and in under 2 minutes, you can post on all 4 of the main platforms. Okay? Embedding yourself into the internet. It's similar to what I was just mentioning is, by creating your social media profile on all of these different platforms and doing consistent content, what happens is Google is crawling through the internet and grabbing onto things and pulling it to the top. So when you're posting things on YouTube, Twitter, et cetera, a lot of times you'll notice that tweets are some of the top things. If you Google your own name, a lot of times your tweets will be towards the top. If you make any YouTube videos, it's always going to be at the top because Google owns YouTube. The #1 search engine in the world is Google. #2 is YouTube. So when you're creating this content and putting these keywords in, a lot of times your videos and your tweets will get pulled up to the top, and that's important because you don't know if a retail store buyer is going to see your name, or a magazine's going to see you, or Ellen's going to see you, and you talked about karate, and she's got an episode about karate. You don't know what's going to happen just posting content about your career or your hobby. Sorry, I'm talking really fast. I want to get through this all. So I call Twitter like a news feed. Twitter's the place where people are going now to find out scores to the game, seeing what people are talking about, what is Trump yelling about, what is this person saying. Twitter's like a news feed. It's really much harder now to grow your Twitter, but things can happen. What I mean by that is, I put 2 different examples of tweets of mine. This has happened 30 or 40 times now, where a tweet will get 22 million impressions on my Twitter, which has only 20 or 30,000 followers. Or on this one, I had 16 million impressions. Same thing, I only had 10 or 15,000 followers at the time. And the way I had that position to get lucky over and over and over was creating content that was easily shareable and timing it. Timing is critical whenever you do social media. Right now, if I posted about Mayweather versus McGregor, I might get 2 or 3 likes. Nobody cares, right? The fight already happened. It's over. There's nothing to think about or talk about. But the night of the Mayweather-McGregor fight, I posted 6 different times, different types of content, and I was getting millions and millions of impressions for free. This video on the right, that Guardian article, was republished in CNN, ABC, Forbes, everywhere around the world, and all it was a video that I took on my phone of humans standing outside of a liquor store. That's it. It sounds really basic, right? Anybody could have gone and taken a video that's 16 seconds of humans in front of a liquor store buying lottery tickets. Why did this get 16 million impressions? Because the timing of it was during the Powerball. The Powerball was over $600 million. Everybody was talking about it. It was all over the news. And so I made my caption on my tweet, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn the same but on Twitter it went crazy. Why? Because all I mentioned was there's a 4-hour wait for the $600 million prize because these people normally won't wait when it's only $150 million. So I was just insinuating the fact that it's worth their time to win $600 million, but $150 million is just not worth it. So this tweet went completely crazy over something as basic as just taking a quick video of humans outside of a liquor store. The next one was also timing. Do you remember last year when Banksy shredded that painting? Well, my tweet was explaining, you can see it in there, talking about the painting and making the wording very, very simple and straightforward. And what happened was this tweet got 22 million impressions in the first 3 days because every single news article and every single TV station, CNN, ABC News, everybody was reposting my tweet. I wasn't in London. I was here with you guys in LA. Nothing happened. All it was timing. You make your timing, and you really have to think about this. If I posted this thing about Banksy today, I literally wouldn't get more than 3 or 4 likes. Nobody would even think about it. But this is still getting the impressions because people are still resharing it from then. Does that make sense? What you can do is think about situations that are happening in our time. If you know on Sunday there's going to be the Emmys or the Oscars or Super Bowl or NBA Finals, if you know certain moments in time are happening, you can be prepared for those moments. If you're a brand manager or you're dealing with clients or influencers, if you're prepared for that time, you're not scrambling after the fact. What I mean by that is, if something happens in our time, something happens where Steve Harvey makes a joke and there's this huge outrage or it's funny or whatever that happens in that Steve Harvey moment, if you don't post in those first few hours, your post the next day is irrelevant, like actually irrelevant. What you can do is, if you're a brand manager or you're an influencer, you know there's going to be a big award show or a big thing happening, you just are on alert during those 3 hours to know to be prepared for content. Now, if that's not your world and that's not what you work on, I don't want you to be always waiting around for that exact moment in time to post content. But if it is what you do, if it is part of your career, or there's somebody that works for you that's managing a brand, or you're dealing with brands, it's critical. It's super critical to be a part of it in the moment. You see a lot of times these brands now on Twitter, they're trying to sandbag it. They're trying to do it 2 days later, or 3 days later, or 4 days later, with their half-assed tweet or kind of funny tweet or repurposing somebody else's joke, and it just kind of doesn't do anything. But the ones that are doing it really well, you'll see Taco Bell and Moon Pie and all these different dessert type companies are doing really, really well because their timing is immaculate. So Instagram is the most emotional platform. It's the one that we look at in the morning. It's the one that we look at night. It's the one that she's looking at right now. It's the most important platform because we think about it and we care. So if you create your content for Instagram, it's really easy to repurpose it for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. YouTube is for evergreen content. So YouTube, you can do 30, 45-second videos there. It's not really the place for it. It's the place for you to do 1-minute to 10-minute type videos in your niche. So if your niche is real estate or fitness or makeup, etc., think about all the key words and key terms that people are going to search forever. That's why I call it evergreen content. In the real estate space, in the makeup space, and fitness space, for example, things don't change that much. There's little variations here and there, but essentially the same beauty tips from 5 years ago are still the same beauty tips. The fitness tips are similar to the same fitness tips. The real estate is still short sales, home loans, etc. So if you're a real estate agent and you spend one Sunday and spend 5 hours and you make 36 videos about the real estate space, you put yourself in a position to get lucky for years. I'll give you an example. 2 years from now, I'm going on searching for short sales, or I'm searching for fourplexes, and I live in LA, and I find your video, and I contact you because you made a video about fourplexes, and I buy a fourplex from you. What happens? If you sell me a fourplex for 800 grand, you're going to make $24,000 to $48,000 commission for a video you made 2 years ago. Does that make sense? You're putting yourself in a position to get lucky. If I never call you, you didn't lose anything. You spent 5 hours one Sunday 2 years ago, but if I do call you and I do buy it from you, what if I buy it from you multiple times for the next 7 years and I become your client just because you made a real estate video about something that you already do? If you're a fitness trainer, you already do fitness. Make some videos about it. If you do makeup, you already do makeup. Make some videos about it. So Pinterest is very female focused. It's fantastic. It's where there's still men on the platform, but women are spending way more time. And because of that, they're also spending time during the most expensive moments in their life. They're thinking about children, they're thinking about their home, they're thinking about their weddings. So during those times, if you have products, brands, or influencers in those spaces, you can capture a lot of time and a lot of top-of-mind awareness. LinkedIn has finally become cool. So for so many years, nobody talked about it. It was really hard for us to connect. Even if my friend was there or somebody I knew was there, I would send them a LinkedIn request. 3 weeks later, they would log in. Then they would approve it. Then they would send me a message. But I don't log in for 2.5 more weeks. Then I respond. Then 4. You see what I'm saying? Nowadays, you can just add people. And you don't have to have all the hard parts of it anymore. And most importantly, the photos and videos that get shared on there can actually go viral. Not huge numbers, but important numbers. What I mean by that is, I had a post get 70,000 views a few weeks ago. And I'm still more excited about that than 22 million views on a tweet. Why? Because the people on LinkedIn have a job or want a job. That's it. There's no Johnny444. There's no poop emojis. LinkedIn is specifically for people that have a career or want a career. So when I get a few thousand views on there, I'm excited because everybody actually cares. Everybody's in a space that matters, and a lot more things can happen from a very focused, targeted audience that has money, has a job, or wants a job. So press still matters. Getting press is still relevant because it edifies you. So whatever career you're in, whatever business you're in, whatever product category you're in, whoever you're representing, getting mainstream press, medium press, and even small press still matters to people mentally. So the reason I talk about top-of-mind awareness is the same reason I said you should make YouTube videos. As long as you're posting at least once a day, top-of-mind awareness kicks in. So if I need to hire a personal trainer, and I'm at lunch with my friend, and she says, oh, I know this personal trainer at Casey Loves Fitness. She's a great personal trainer. You should hire her. And I go there and I hire her, and I start spending $150 per session, 3 sessions a week. She makes $450 a week. That's $1,800 a month, $20,000 in a year, because my friend at lunch recommended a personal trainer. Does that make sense? These very simple things, whether it's real estate, fitness, beauty, whatever you do, getting new clients. When I say getting a client like me, it's just anybody. It's not specifically about me. Getting a client that now starts spending $150 per session with you can lead you to $20,000 revenue just because she posted once a day and the person at lunch brought it up. The butterfly effect is real. It's not some weird, crazy thing. My videographer, we have 4 in-house videographers. One of them was sleeping in a freaking closet 2 years ago, and now he flies around the world with Paris Hilton and shooting for Kim Kardashian and all over the planet making 6 figures. He was legitimately living in a closet for 8 months up until 2 years ago, starting to work for me. I have a basketball trainer named Dribble Too Much. When he first moved to LA, he was sleeping on my couch. And I started to drive him around to Diddy's house, and he would train his kids. And then his kids started telling people about it, and he started training Steph Curry's kids. And now, 4 years later, he's training Drake, and he's in a commercial with Steph Curry for Nike. He was a basketball trainer that literally just talks about how to dribble a basketball 4 years ago, sleeping on a couch. So when I talk about social media, people mention all the bad things. There's like this much percentage of bad things. I'm passionate, and you can hear it in my voice. I'm passionate about the good things because it can literally change people's lives. When I say think before you post, think about what you would care about. If you're scrolling through Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and you see somebody's salad and you're like, I don't really care about a salad, I'm going to keep posting, you don't post your salads. If you think about something and you're like, hey, I'm posting and I'm scrolling through and this person's posting from a dark nightclub at 2 in the morning and I can't see anything and I scroll right by, you don't post from a dark nightclub or a dark restaurant. If you can't see things or you don't care about the things and you know for yourself you don't like it, just think before you post. So the moral of the story is to be omnipresent. The main thing about Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, all these platforms is every single one is free. Free, 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 and free. So how can you not do it? Like how can you not be out there and be a part of it?